Alright, so on this one we're gonna go ahead and remake from scratch Ye and Dolla Sign's Everybody featuring Lil Baby and Charlie Wilson. The tempo for this one is 108 beats per minute, and the track is produced by Evan Christ, Kanye West, Timbaland, and will.i.am. That's pretty crazy that there are 4 producers on this track, and there's literally only like 4 different sounds on this track, and that includes drums, which is pretty wild that many big hit makers put together this track. This is one of those tracks where the vocals makes a huge difference. It's so simple, but the vocals makes it huge. So we're gonna start off with the intro chorus bit that goes right into that Backstreet Boys Everybody, but it's not really the sample of Backstreet Boys. It's interpolated. It's a cover. Charlie Wilson sings the chorus on this one, and I should mention that I am basing this remake off of the Miami live stream. So if there are other things that were added to the track, I don't know. I'm just basing it off of that live stream. So let's get to it. We're gonna bring in Logic's ES2 synthesizer, and we're gonna create that Moog bass that we hear on that chorus, the Backstreet Boys Everybody part. Let's just actually initialize the preset, then we'll draw in the pattern, and then we'll go to some sound design. So we'll go to tutorial settings, and we're gonna go to analog saw init. We'll close that now. Let's just get the bass pattern down. Alright, so that doesn't sound all that good, but we'll make it sound a whole lot better, like a nice fat Moog bass. So we're gonna open up the ES2 plugin and we load it up. The first thing we're gonna do is turn on all 3 oscillators and make sure each oscillator is in the mix by bringing our triangle mixer to the middle. Still doesn't sound too great. We're gonna turn it over to mono. We're gonna turn on unison and pull up the voices to 12. That's a whole lot fuller. Next, let's add in some detuning to the sound by going to ES2's analog knob here. I'm gonna pull it up to about 2 o'clock. We'll pull up a little bit of sine level. Now that sounds way too edgy and too bright. We gotta make it a little bit darker sounding. So we're gonna go over to filter number 1 over here and just pull down our cutoff. Next thing I'm going to do is go over to oscillator 2 and just pitch up the oscillator 1 octave. And we do have some clicks and pops, so we're just going to pull up our attack on our envelope 3 here. Now we're going to give it some analog character to it, some analog noise, analog girth, if you will. We're going to go over to our instrument track over here. We're going to bring in distortion, Logic's Bit Crusher. And we're not going to do much. We're going to use the default preset that loads up. We're just going to turn downsampling up to 2, resolution up to 11, and leave the drive as is. Just makes it a little bit meatier. I'm just going to pull down the volume here a little bit. And then what we're going to do is add in a little bit of reverb, bringing in Logic's Chrome Reverb. And I'm just going to sprinkle it in a little bit. We'll pull down the wetness. And I'm going to filter out the reverb on the low frequencies here. And that's the chorus bass. Now we just got to bring in the drums. So let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. We'll go over to our library here. We'll go to drum kits, and I'm going to bring in the Everybody drum kit. If I can find it in my list, here it is right here. Once again, very simple, only 2 sounds, a kick and a snare. Let's start off with that snare sound. We're going to put on the 2s and 4s. Let's go ahead and draw in our kick pattern. And that's pretty much it for the drums. If I have to be a guessing man, I would guess that Timbaland did the drums on this one. So that's the chorus bit of the track. Then we'll go over to the verses. I'm going to create a new software instrument track. We're going to bring in another instance of Logic's ES2 synthesizer. We're going to use the same tutorial setting preset, analog saw init, if I can get to it. It's very close to the Moog bass that we just created, but a little bit more simpler. All right, so there's the main pattern right there. I'm just going to duplicate that over 2 bars. We're going to go ahead and open up Logic's ES2 synthesizer. And like I said, very similar to the other one, but this one we're going to keep only one oscillator going over here, one sawtooth. We're going to go over and turn on unison, pull the voices up once again to 12. All right, so we're already getting that full, fat, mean bass. Then we're just going to pull up the analog detuning a little bit as well to about 12 o'clock-ish. Let's go ahead and go over to filter 1 and just make that a little bit darker sounding as well. Bring that once again to about 12 o'clock. Make it a little bit fuller with the sine level here. And once you bring in that sine wave, it's going to add a little bit of clicks and pops because our attack is so quick. Let's pull that up once again. All right, so there's the verse bass. We're just going to copy over the same bit crusher effect to make it fuller. All right, so that's the verse portion of the track. And then we get into a piano. That's sort of the breakdown into the chorus. So what we're going to do here is just go over to the next 2 bars. We're going to create a new software instrument track. And we're going to go back to our browser. We're going to go over to a piano, and we'll bring in Logic's Yamaha Grand Piano. We'll adjust the sound in a moment. Once again, we'll just go ahead and get in that pattern. Duplicate that over. All right, so that's the piano right there. Let's just adjust the sound a little bit. First thing we're gonna do is copy over that same analog bit crusher effect to the piano. See how it gives it a little bit of that noise factor to it. Makes it sound a whole lot better. Then we'll open up Logic's sampler, and we're just gonna make the volume a little bit louder here. We're going to pull down the cutoff a little bit as well. And that's literally all the sections in the track. Now all I gotta do is mix it and arrange it. Here is the final mix down of the track. The arrangement is truncated quite a bit, just because, like I said at the top of the video, this song just needs those vocals to make it sound nice, full, and interesting. The vocals does a lot of work on this track. This just supports the vocals. So with that said, let's get to the remix we just put together. Kanye West, Ty Dolla $igns, Everybody featuring Lil Baby and Charlie Wilson. $igns Everybody featuring Lil Baby and Charlie Wilson, remade in Logic Pro. Logic Pro users out there, I'm going to go ahead and save this entire session for you. Place it as a downloadable link below this video. If you don't use Logic, I got your back as well. I'm going to go ahead and export all the MIDI stems, audio stems, and of course include the drum kit that you heard in this remake. You can find that playback down below the like button as well. If you have any questions on this or just want to chat, let's go and talk in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. We'll catch you on the next one. Later. Peace.